everybody, it's Enderman103, and I'm bringing you episode 3 of my 1941 strategy series. Russia just took their turn, and we're going to play the rest of the game as though Russia played a defensive Russia, seeing as this is the most popular way, the most often played version of Russia. So we're going to be playing with them as defensive, and we're going to be doing that for each nation. They all have pretty much things that they do no matter what. And we're going to be playing with those turns taken as though they were taken that way for the next nation to go. Okay, so for Germany, your purchases are going to be 2 infantry and a tank. You start with $12, 2 infantry there, and 1 tank is going to be all $12 for you. And if you want to go more sea-based, you can replace that tank or those 2 infantry with a submarine. But you either want a sub and 2 infantry or a sub and a tank. But if you don't go with a sub, 2 infantry, 1 tank is what I would recommend. So, as Germany, there are initiatives that you have that are very, very important to you as the German player. Now, there are certain continents that you want to focus on, and you're fighting basically a 3-front war. So the 3 fronts are your front with Russia, which looks really grim right now, seeing as they have 11 infantry in Russia, and for some reason I removed their fighter between the Russian and the German turn. I don't know how that happened. Your second front is over here. It's the sea front with Great Britain, which they have you outshipped at the beginning of the game. They have a bunch of boats. And then your third front is going to be down here with Africa and even the Middle East. There's going to be shipping wars probably going on in here. But Egypt is a big front, because if you don't do anything about this now, then the Brits are going to take North Africa from you. That is out of the question. That is something that they can and will do. So what can we do? Well, we can decide. Do we want to go kill Russia first or kill Britain first? And so in this video, we'll be showing you a kill Russia first scenario. So in a kill Russia first scenario, you'll be wanting to use all of your planes on the Eastern Front or against Russia, okay? In a kill Britain first, you're going to distribute your planes more evenly, for sure. But we're going to see what we can get away with. Now, of course, your ships can attack British ships and will attack British ships no matter what. But you won't have air support, and you won't be making certain attacks because of that, because your planes are going to be needed against Russia. Alright, so we'll go ahead and start with the ship battles and end with attacking Russia itself. So we'll go first this video with the kill Russia first. Alright, as Germany, we're going to try to wipe Russia off the face of the planet and then go for Great Britain. And then in the next video, we'll focus on getting rid of Great Britain first and then turning on Russia. So, the submarine and the destroyer in Sea Zone 16, you want to use both of those to come out 1 space, 2 spaces, to try to hit this carrier, this aircraft carrier in Sea Zone 14, and this fighter. So if you can sink this carrier, that is going to be just another ship that the British don't have. And that is all you're trying to do, is destroy as many ships as you possibly can. Okay? So then the submarine and the battleship in Sea Zone 5 go 1 into 6, 2 into 8. So you have a submarine and a battleship going up against their submarine and their battleship. And that is going to be supported by this submarine in Sea Zone 9. It's going to go into Sea Zone 8 as well. So now you got 2 submarines and a battleship attacking a British submarine and a battleship there. Alright? So the plane that you can use on this front will be this one in what is this, Western Europe? Yes, Western Europe. So I would recommend taking it 1 and 2 and using it against this carrier, because if your destroyer dies and you don't get this fighter, well, then that's a fighter that they get to keep, because it just lands in Gibraltar, okay? So taking this fighter in will pretty much guarantee that you do get to get rid of that fighter as well. And getting rid of the British Air Force is important, because you won't have to deal with that while you're attacking Russia. Okay, then we come over to the Russian front, and now this is a little bit messier. than the British front, because nothing is given with the Russian front. Russia can do so many different moves, and you can blitz your tanks through different territories, and it's messy. You have options, and we're going to see what we can get away with, okay? So, if you're playing a Kill Russia first, you obviously just want to go for Russia, Moscow. This is your goal. This is the end game for you. But you also want to take Caucasus so you can start producing units right next to Moscow. And Russia doesn't want that, and if they do want to take it back, well, they're going to have to use units to take Caucasus back, and those units aren't going to be there to attack Moscow. So, ideally, you don't want to take Caucasus on the first turn. And I know that sounds crazy because there are people who are just opportunists, which means if there's an attack you can take it. But what I say is if you do take Caucasus and they take it back, you're in no position to then take Moscow. So I say wait to take Caucasus until you are in a position to take Moscow if they move units out of it. Okay? So here's an example. Okay? If these units, say we don't make any attacks this turn. If these units move up and they're just chilling there, and these infantry move up, right? But we already took Caucasus, and say we both lose all our infantry. I mean, that's reasonable, okay? So you have 2 tanks left in the Caucasus. I'm sorry, my big hand's in the way, but I'm trying to make this pretty. So you took Caucasus, and this is all you have to take Moscow with. You have 7 infantry and 2 tanks. Well, to take out those 2 tanks, they can send these 3 infantry and 1 tank and 1 fighter, and they leave 1 tank behind, and they still have 11 infantry, and they're going to be buying 3 more infantry, and they're going to be putting these 3 infantry back in there. You took Caucasus too early, because now they're going to take it back. You can't take Moscow on your next turn, and now what? You have no defensive units in Ukraine. You barely have any reinforcements on the way. This is why I say don't take Caucasus on the first turn. It's suicide. You will lose Caucasus, they'll take it back, and you don't want that. You want to be able to just march into Moscow the next turn. So don't take Caucasus on your first turn. What you do want to try to take is everything else, okay? Caucasus is a territory they will take back. All the other territories they don't care so much about. If they're playing a defensive Russia, they're not going to care if you take Karelia. They're not going to care if you take Archangel, okay? So, first attack, super easy. You're just going to march one of these guys, which I should have chipped out, but no, you don't. One of these guys from Finland is going to move into Karelia, okay? And that's going to be joined with these 4 guys in Eastern Europe, yes, is going to also march in there into Karelia. So you just take that for free. That's a buck that you get added to your economy, which is sweet for you. But that bumps Russia down to 6. You go up to 13. You would have a control marker there. So then your next attack that you could do, you don't have to do this one, but you could, is to try to take Archangel, okay? And so you could shove those 3 guys from West Russia into Archangel. And you could support that with these 2 tanks. You could support that with those 2 tanks. But what I would recommend is just taking your bomber from Germany, going 1, 2, 3, because then he can land back in Germany. And maybe taking one of these tanks from Eastern Europe. 1, 2. That is going to put the battle pretty much in your favor. You should take that. If you don't, something went wrong. Something went horribly wrong with your dice rolls. Okay? So this tank is just going to chill out there for now. And we're going to be using our planes in future battles. Not right now. But we're just going to be moving them around for now. And you'll see what we do. But I'll go ahead and roll the dice for these 3 battles that we have. And then I will get back to you. Alright guys, so everything went really well for the Germans on their rolling. Better than the Russians' turn, that's for sure. So we took Archangel at the loss of 2 men to their 3 men. So that would be another buck that we get. Russia goes down to 5, we go up to 14, which is perfect. We want Russia as low as they can get, so they are not buying infantry. We'll have to land this bomber on our non-combat moves. And over here, we had even more success. A little bit more. But, sorry, my phone's plugged in and the cord's being difficult right now. But we took out the carrier and the fighter at no losses at all, which was brilliant. So we definitely took enough stuff in there. And then this battle, we took out their sub and battleship, but we lost our subs. The reason we didn't tilt our battleship and leave a submarine is because the British can bring this fighter and bomber in here, and our submarine can't defend against the planes. So having the battleship with 2 hits to defend against those planes is going to be very, very useful. So now we're going to non-combat movements. So first off, we'll land this plane, this bomber, back in Germany. Okay? Then this tank from Western Europe will go 1, 2 into Eastern Europe. And the tank from that was in Eastern Europe, 1 blitzed up to Archangel, is just going to join up with the tanks in Ukraine. Like that. Okay. Then this tank is going to use the transport and land in Southern Europe. These 2 infantry from Southern Europe are going to Eastern Europe. And 2 of these infantry, which I should have chipped out. Well, I'll just leave it chipped. 2 of these infantry, I'll go like this, from Germany are going to Eastern Europe. Like that. Okay. And then the fighter from Southern Europe is going to Ukraine, and the fighter from Germany is going to Ukraine. The fighter that came from Western Europe, 1-2, to attack Season 14 is going to land 1-2 back in Western Europe. And that should be everything. That is everything, yes. So, our builds, we're going to put the 2 infantry and the tank in Germany. And that's everything, guys. So, huge success, actually, this turn. This is really, really nice. Looks nice for Germany. And we'll continue to push on. But this will be the setup that we have for England's turn. Again, we do have another German video to do. So I did do these out of order, but it's fine. But this is the setup that we will have for England, because this is the more popular approach for Germany, is to kill Russia first. It is less common that people go with the kill Britain first strategy. Alright, so in episode, what is that going to be, 4, we will be doing Germany again, and we will be doing kill England first. I will see you guys there. Thanks for sticking around. This is Cineman 103 saying, peace out.